Today's MMA Fight Picks podcast is brought to you by Hero Soap Company. Hero Soap is an all-natural soap with no harsh chemicals and are made with essential oils. This means no lab-made synthetic properties that can irritate sensitive skin. This is why you won't find cotton candy or bubblegum scented products, just real great smelling soap. Best of all, Hero Soap is USA veteran owned, and a percentage of the proceeds from your purchase go directly to veterans and first responders. Hero Soap is packaged in a water and dust-proof resealable bag that will repel the harsh elements. Take it with you hiking, camping, wherever. Each bar of soap is handmade in Phoenix, Arizona. Every ingredient used to make Hero Soap is sourced from companies right here in the USA. Unlike other lifeless natural soaps, there are tons of great-smelling soaps to choose from. Cedarwood with charcoal, relaxing lavender, and my favorite, peppermint plus cool. And fellas, it's so good, it'll make your balls tingle. Simply go to herosoapcompany.com/discount/MMAFP for 10% off your purchase, or just enter promo code MMAFP at checkout if you don't want to type all that in. You can even subscribe and save even more money. Remember, promo code MMAFP for 10% off your purchase. You'll smell great without irritating chemicals, and you'll be back USA veterans and first responders.
You're listening to the One Man Show Network. Welcome to the MMA Fight Picks Podcast with your host, Aaron Weinbaum.
All right, hey everyone, welcome to the MMA Fight Picks Podcast. I am your host, Aaron Weinbaum, and today I will be picking yet another UFC main event. I'm so excited. People are complaining about this card. I don't understand why. What else is going on in the world right now? Nothing. The UFC is bringing it. Of course, there is a mass exodus right now with the UFC, but we'll see. We'll see if that happens. If you are on the Periscope, feel free to come on and say hi and make a comment or two. And I would love to have you in the discussion to help me pick these fights. A lot going on here. John Jones wants to quit. I think Masvidal wants to quit. Conor wants to quit as of today, and it's just the strangest thing. And I don't know if this is going to last or what the deal is, but we'll see. We'll see. I see you got a little streaming problem there, but anywho, yeah. So feel free to chime in on that as well. I think Joe Rogan's gonna quit unless the UFC moves over to Spotify. So I don't know. I think Jose Aldo's gonna quit maybe if he doesn't get another title shot after a loss. I don't know. No, but I'm just kidding. UFC 250 went about close to what I thought. I thought Aljo would get the win. I didn't think Cody Garbrandt would get the win. He surprised me. Great knockout. Sean O'Malley, great knockout. I thought that was his time as well. And what about the Funk Master? Aljamain Sterling just absolutely just choking him out. And, he is probably now the number one contender to the Bantamweight belt that will hopefully – and it could be a short notice thing too, but Petr Yan and Jose Aldo set to go at it. So we'll see. We'll see. But let's get to some fights. How about that? Let's see here. First up, Julia Avila versus Gina Danger Mazany. Danger's my middle name, baby. Yeah. Okay, but besides the terrible Austin Powers, I think everyone just left after that impression there. Let's just take a look at Julia Avila first. Wins over Pannie Kinsad. Alexa Connors, Ashley Dean, hasn't lost since May 2018. And then we'll take a look at Gina Danger here. Just beat Valerie Barney, has losses to Macy Chiasson, Lena Landsberg, Wu Yanan. I don't know. This is a tough one to call because, Gina doesn't win against high-profile girls, and you look at Julia, and I don't see that she's fought that many high-profile girls either, except for Pannie. She did get a decision over Pannie, and Pannie's kind of up there in that range. But I do like the win streak on Julia, and I think I'm going to pick her to win over Gina. This is not one I would bet on by any means. So we shall see. This is a surprising one for me. Man, these fighters are getting recycled, and they are getting recycled quick. And I'm not complaining. I think it's cool, but you got Charles Rosa. I mean, I feel like you just fought yesterday, but I guess it was May. It was about a month and a half ago against Bryce Mitchell. Unanimous decision. Bryce almost hit multiple twisters on him. I mean, it was crazy, those setups. I'm not a jiu-jitsu guy by any means, but I was something to behoove. And then you got Kevin Aguilar. Lots and lots of wins for him, bud. Not lately. 2 losses. Zubaira, Tukugov, and Dan Ige. So, these fights say what they're taking place at, and I don't know because it says this fight is going to take place at lightweight. Okay, so this one is correct. So Charles is not cutting down again after he just fought at 145 pounds. Because I got that wrong with Brian Kelleher. I mean, I did pick him to lose just because I thought he was cutting weight, but he didn't cut weight. It was listed as a bantamweight fight, and it was featherweight. So this one is lightweight. So maybe this does behoove Charles Rosa a little bit more. Kevin, I'm looking at his win record here, and not really a lot of names. And I just want to say, he did lose rather to Dan Ige. Dan's no joke. But Rosa, he's beaten some high-profile guys. He's always going to be up there in the conversation, as Dana White would say. So I'm going to go with him to win. I mean, got wins over Manny Bermudez, Kyle Bochniak. Did lose a split decision to Yaya Rodriguez, and that means a lot. So, unless he's coming in smaller, which I don't think he is because these guys are both, they're both featherweight, so sorry about that. Yeah. But Kevin's no joke, but I do like Charles in this fight. Next up, the best nickname in all of MMA, Andre Touchy Fili. And if you are on the Periscope, feel free to jump in and say hi and let me know what you think. Andre Touchy Fili against Charles Jourdain. I like that name too. Oh, this could be the battle of the nicknames. Somebody write that down. The battle of the nicknames here. Touchy Fili against Jourdain. This is more exciting. I've never been more excited for a fight. Now I know there's, good nicknames involved. So interesting. Let's take a look at Andre Touchy Fili first. Now this fight is set to take place, according to this, at featherweight. So these guys are fighting at featherweight, which is interesting to me because Jourdain fights at lightweight mostly. He is at least listed as a lightweight in Sherdog. He doesn't have a Wikipedia page. I guess maybe they'll get him one if he wins this fight. We'll see. I don't know. Andre Touchy Fili just lost a unanimous decision to Sadiq Youssef. Before that, Shimon Morales, Miles Jury, won against those guys. Does have a split decision loss against Michael Johnson, but that's back in 2018. Let's take a look at Charles Jourdain. Did beat Duho Choi, TKO round 2. This was back in December. Has a loss to Desmond Green. We'll see. I don't know what weight cutting is like for these guys right now during a pandemic. It sounds like gyms are opening up. People are getting back in the routines, Shit, look what Aljo did, with Ali Quinta. And, he trained out of Ali Quinta's garage. So really interesting here. But I like Fili in this fight, just, based on his experience, based on his strength of schedule. So, yeah. Oh, I like this one. Merab, Dvalishvili against Ray Borg. This Ray Borg, he's just one of those guys, man. I don't know that he's even in between 125 or 135 or he just can't make weight or what the deal is, but he does look suited for 135 pounds. I just wish he'd give up on going back down to 125 pounds. Now, this fight is at 135 pounds, but it just focus on being just a bigger 135 pounder. But, who am I? What do I know? Because it looks like he's fighting a similar guy. He just fought Ricky Simone. Gosh, when was that? I'm going to have to look here. It feels like yesterday also, but I guess it was May 13th, so it was less than it'll be exactly a month, I guess, which is insane. So you got Merab, who's just been a killer, Casey Kenny, Brad Katona, Terrion Ware gets these grinding decisions. Man, the guy doesn't stop. He is a cardio machine. I mean, insane. I don't think he lost to Ricky Simone. That was a weird stoppage. Well, I mean, he did lose by submission, but I thought honestly that guillotine was suspect. I don't think he tapped. It was weird. And then Frankie Sands too, same deal. I thought he beat him. But let's look at Ray Borg. Just lost to Ricky Simone. Even though it is registered a loss for Merab, I think that had he not gotten caught and that fight called off early, I think he's a better version of Ricky Simone. I hope maybe these guys rematch somewhere along the way. But yeah, that was a tough. I don't really even see how that was a split decision. I thought Ricky did very well, but I'm not a judge. Before that, Borg had a couple wins, Rogerio Bontorn, but he missed weight. I like Merab in this fight. When Team Serra-Longo gets on a roll, they get on a roll. He's been training with Aljo this whole time. Aljamain Sterling, that is, and I like it. I like this fight. I do. I like this fight from Merab a lot. So, yeah, there we go. All right, sorry here. Got to mess with the light. Next up. Not as familiar with these guys. Karl Roberson versus Marvin Vettori. Take a look at Karl here real quick here. Just had 2 wins. His last loss was Glover Teixeira, a submission arm triangle, round 1. Hasn't had the toughest schedule in the world. I am definitely more familiar with Marvin Vettori, though. A beast. This fight is also set at middleweight, so I don't know. I'm trying to see here. I mean, it looks like. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he. No, I think he has been a middleweight most of the time. Okay, so that's not as concerning. Marvin Vettori, though, just beat Andrew Sanchez, just beat Cesar Fiera. Does have a split decision loss over Israel Adesanya, and that's a big deal. Israel, of course, being the champion. That was way back in 2018, though. Who knows what Israel would do to him now. But I think I like him in this fight. Especially just 2 wins in a row. Karl, 2 wins in a row also. But I don't know. This is not another one I would not bet on either. But I like it. I like it. Karl Roberson to lose to Marvin Vettori if I was a picking guy, in which I am. I'm picking. Yeah. All right. Next up. This is for the flyweights. Another one here could get Jessica right in title contention. She did miss weight by quite a bit her last fight, and she's not known for doing that, but she weighed closer to Bantamweight than she did Flyweight. Yeah, I don't know. She said it was female stuff and this and that, and I tend to give him the benefit of the doubt. One time, I don't know, but we'll see. Jessica just had a decision win against Viviane Araujo. Did of course lose to the champ Valentina Shevchenko via head kick, vicious head kick. Whoa. But she's got some wins. I mean, Caitlin Chukagian, who just beat Valentina's sister, Jessica Rose Clark. I mean, gosh, when was the last time she lost before that? I think that was back when she was, fighting a bantamweight. So, very interesting here. Now, Cynthia Calvillo, who's moving up, she missed weight at 115 pounds. So, this is probably good for Calvillo. But, when you move up, and she has missed weight a few times, but when you move up like that first time, you're not used to the strength, of those bigger opponents. And, Jessica, who's fought all the way up from Bantamweight, this is Cynthia fighting now for the first time at Flyweight. And, I just tend to think that Jessica, with her experience, will get this fight and get right back in there. So, yeah, that's it. Those are the fights for UFC Vegas 2. That is the hashtag, at least. It's a different one every week, for all these fights. The Apex last week was UFC 250, and then the other one was UFC Apex, and then the way before that was UFC Vegas. I don't know. Anywho, yeah, I like it. We'll see what happens. And if nobody has anything to add on the Periscope, I'm going to say goodbye and shalom.
Please remember to support the podcast by visiting the affiliate links on AaronSaysWhat.com.